You're listening to the Hockey Talk Podcast with Daniel Mola. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hockey Talk Podcast. I'm Daniel Mola, and I believe this episode is episode number 2. Yes, it is. And today I'm going to be talking about what are the Canucks' chances of winning the Stanley Cup this year, and because you never know, right? Just like in my last episode, how I said that I don't know if y'all remember. But in my last episode, I said that the playoffs is a whole new other season, so anything can happen. There's a lot of underdogs coming into the playoffs actually this year, such as like the Coyotes, Nashville Predators, and Toronto Maple Leafs are back in it again. Carolina Hurricanes. You know, New York Rangers are actually one of the most if they win the cup, they're going to be one of the most underdogs team to win the cup, I believe. But yeah, let's just focus on the Canucks today. Also, by the way, the NHL Phase 2 is opening up again. It's starting to open. Open again. So the NHL is starting to open again. It's on Phase 2. I'm really excited about that. Hopefully, we can get back to hopefully NHL can get back by players will be on the ice and everything by hopefully they will be back on the ice by late July or early August, I believe. So yeah, before we go back to school or whatever, if you're in school or go back to your normal routine of work or whatever every day, you can watch a little bit of hockey before you go back, and so that would be good. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I don't have to go to school until start of September. So I get to watch a little bit of hockey, only if the virus stays out of the way. So let's hope and pray that the virus stays out of the way. But if it does, then we'll be watching. Then those people who have nothing to do, I mean, you guys can watch and some hockey, which is really exciting. I'm really excited about that as well, to watch some hockey. It's gonna be soon though, so hopefully, the NHL. It's going to be back soon. I'm really happy about that. So I know all you guys are happy about that as well. But anyways, we're going to see what we got here today. We got the Canucks. We're just focusing on the Canucks today. I think so. The Canucks play in the round robin. Canucks play Minnesota in the round robin. So I think that's good. I think I've been reading articles online, and I mean, people have been saying that Canucks and Minnesota is gonna be a really good matchup. I think it. You know what? I think it is. Two young hockey teams going at it. It's gonna be one crazy match. I think one hell of a crazy match. I think. Who do I think is gonna take it? Well, obviously my team, Vancouver Canucks. I think they're gonna take it. I mean, they got Miller, who've been ripping it up this season until the pause. They got Pettersson and Besser. Those are two dynamite players who have good chemistry together, and if you put them on the power play along with Miller and Horvat, and then you got the veteran Edler on defense at the blue line, and Tanev, I think that line is gonna do pretty well, and they're gonna carry the team, I think, for most of the playoffs or round robin playoffs or whatever. So I think the Canucks are gonna. I think so. It's best out of 5, right? Yeah. So I think the Canucks are gonna. I think the Canucks are going to win. If it's best out of 5, I think. So it'll be 3. First to win 3, right? It'll be the first to win. Yeah, it'll be the first to win 3. I think the Canucks. Yeah, is it? Hang on, let me just think. Is it first to win 3? Yeah, it is first to win 3. So I think the Canucks actually. It's going to be tough, but I think the Canucks are going to take it 3-1. I think so. I think the Canucks are going to take the series 3-1. I think, they're going to win the first 2 games and then, suck really badly in the third game. And Minnesota's going to take that one, but eventually Canucks will come up on top. And win 3. Win the next game, which would be 3-1 series, and win the series. 3-1 series lead, which will win the series. So if the Canucks do beat the Minnesota Wild, then they go on to play Vegas. And Vegas is actually pretty good. Yep, they're way better than Minnesota. That's for sure. Yeah, and I don't know. I can't remember if it's out of 3 they play. I don't know if it's. I think it's the playoff. It's all out of 5. It's out of 5 games. So if they win, so it has to be the first team to win 3. I think the first round, second round, and then the conference quarterfinal is and then the conference final is best out of 7. The first round and second round best out of 5. Conference quarterfinal is best out of 7. Conference final is best out of 7. And then I think the Stanley Cup final is obviously best out of 7. I mean, come on. If you don't have best out of 7 there, then what's the point of watching hockey? I mean, there's gonna be one team. It's gonna be pretty short. I mean, so they gotta put in that best out of 7 somewhere, and obviously the final or the conference final and the final are the place to put it in. So the Canucks will beat Vegas. I think Vegas can take a 2-1 lead though, and I think Canucks gonna come back and win the series on that one. I'm not too sure who the Canucks play after that, but I can't remember. Well, we'll see. I mean, whoever wins against St. Louis will go on. Whoever wins against St. Louis will go. If Edmonton win against Chicago and they have to beat St. Louis and everything. So that would be the first round. So I don't know who we're playing the second round. So say for example, like if Edmonton, what I meant by that, but say for example, say if Edmonton wins against Chicago, they have to beat St. Louis. So, and then they will play us. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Edmonton and Canucks in the second round, second or third round. That would be insane. Oh man. Oh, I'll definitely watch that one. That's gonna be like the Battle of the Pacific or whatever. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. I mean, Canucks they got pretty good chance this year winning the cup. Actually, I got this hat here. It's I don't know. I'll hold it up to the camera. People who listen to this on iTunes, you can't see this. You have to go to YouTube. YouTube is Daniel Mola. Just my name, Daniel Mola. But anyway, they got a hat here, and it's signed by Aaron Rome. Let's see if we can get this hat again. Let's see if we can get this hat again this year. This is the Conference Champions hat, and that we got in 2011. Let's see if we can get this hat again. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool hat. But let's see if we can get this hat again. I think we can do it if the Canucks just work hard. And I'm just gonna put this hat back up. But yeah, if the Canucks work hard and don't give up, I think they have a good chance of actually winning the cup this year. They're a young, strong offensive team. They got Travis Green as their coach, who had been coaching them for 3 years now, I think, 3-4 years. He coached the Utica Comets, and I think they won a championship with him. He coached the Canucks now, so I think he actually Travis Green has done very well Travis Green has done very well coaching this team this year. As you can see, I mean the Canucks are back in it. Like they're literally in. They're in the mix. They're in the mix. Then if they win the round robin, they go to the playoffs, and I think they're going to be shredding it in the playoffs. If they beat Minnesota, which I think they will, 3-1 for that series win for the Canucks. If the Canucks do win the Stanley Cup this year, does it mean that we have to stay indoors? I mean, we can't go down and downtown and celebrate with our team like they do every year or whatever. Like we have to just stay inside. Like, can you imagine if the Canucks win the Stanley Cup this year and all we had to do was celebrate at home? Like, how boring would that be? Honestly, it would be boring. I could never do that, yo. No. I gotta go downtown, support my team and everything. I don't think anyone would stay home, actually. I think everybody would just go outside and run around and go crazy because their team just won the Stanley Cup. I think the Canucks are gonna win the Stanley Cup this year. Again, if they put, that's like the dream line. Honestly, if they put that's the dream line. If they put Pedersen, if they put Pedersen, Besser, Miller, and in either Tanev, Myers, or Edler on defense, I would go with Edler because he's been with the team for a very long time. He's the number one leading defenseman in points, and I think that if they put Edler on the blue line along with Tanev's also been there for a long time as well. I don't know if you remember, but Tanev's actually been around since 2011 Stanley Cup final. So if they put Tanev on that line, along with on that dream line, then that would produce some great offense and some great goals, and that would help us get to where we need to go. And that's only one mission from where we need to go, and that's called the Stanley Cup final, to win the cup and bring it home. And and that would be the first time a Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup since 1984, I think so. Montreal was the last Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup against Los Angeles back in 1984, I believe it was. Was it 94? Because the Canucks were in the playoffs. They actually went to the final in 94 against the Rangers. But I think this year is our year. We have come so far. We have built the team that we need to build. All they need to do is work hard, and they'll win it. We have been to the Stanley Cup final 3 times, against the New York Islanders, and then against the New York Rangers. Where New York Islanders, we had no shot at that. We lost 4 in a row, and we just got blew out of the water. So we had no chance of making the playoffs. I mean, winning the Stanley Cup. So and then we played against the New York Rangers. We almost won. The New York Rangers series, but Mark Messier was just too good, and he beat us. Even though he played for us, I don't know what happened. He didn't do nothing for us when he was here. But anyways, I'm not gonna go down that road. That's another rant and a half. But yeah, the Canucks, they lost against the Rangers. They almost won though, because I think Trevor Linden hit the post, something like that, and I guess luck wasn't on our side at that time. And same with the 2011 Stanley Cup playoffs. Luck wasn't on our side. Luck wasn't on our side either. I mean, there's working hard, but then you need a little bit of luck as well, and you need a little bit of breaks from the ref as well. I mean, the refs, especially in the final, they call everything almost. They call everything. I mean, just look what happened last year against San Jose and Vegas. Who went down? Who went down there? Oh, I might have to search that up. But anyway, that San Jose player, I can't remember his name, but the San Jose player got thrown to the ice by the Vegas player. Remember, he got 5 in the game. 5 in the game misconduct, and he got and then San Jose came back and win that series. And a controversial call, I think. My opinion. I mean, the Vegas after the game they interviewed the Vegas player who hit him, I believe, or knocked him down the ice head first, and he said it was a bad call, and the ref were just calling the outcome of the game. What they mean by that, they were calling the outcome by the fans, because they played in San Jose that night, and the fans were all furious and everything. So the ref were just following what the fans wanted, instead of actually focusing on what's at stake and actually making the game fair, because I mean, the San Jose player did go down head first, but it wasn't really a hard push. It's not like he wrestled him or tackled him to the ground. It was just off a face-off, and bumped him and fell down and everything, and he unfortunately landed on his head. But I mean, that's the way it goes though. But and that's just the ref's way of calling the games in these playoffs. I mean, sometimes it depends what team you're cheering for. Because sometimes if the call goes your way, you're happy. But when it doesn't, everybody gets mad. At least from one side of the at least one side of the table for metaphor, whatever. I used a metaphor there. Never mind. But yeah, I used a metaphor there. I think one side. Anyway, one side of the table. Anyways, but yeah, actually, yeah, no, that makes sense. That metaphor, one side of the table. Went right from one side of the table, and people didn't agree on the other side. Didn't agree on the other side, which yeah, that's all right. I can use that metaphor there in that situation. But yeah, it's a cool metaphor to use. But anyways, going back to the Canucks. I think they have a I think they have a great chance to win the cup this year. To just work hard and don't give up and everything. They can beat Minnesota. They can beat Vegas. They can beat whoever else they play next in the next 3 rounds after that, and win the cup in the last round there in the Stanley Cup final and bring it home, and so that everybody can be happy and cheer and finally say that we brought a cup back home to Canada, and it's the Vancouver Canucks who brought it home for the first time in their franchise history. And that would be a great storybook to write. I just think the Canucks are gonna make it to the final this year. They're gonna come up on top. If they work hard, that's right. I mean, I know in my last video I said St. Louis Blues are gonna make it. It's gonna be the Blues winning the cup again, but I mean, they could, but I think the Canucks got this one. I think the Canucks got this one. I think the Canucks gonna win the Stanley Cup this year, and we shall see, though. We shall see, but I think they're gonna win. I just have a strong feeling that they're gonna win. Might be Canucks and Pittsburgh in the final. You never know, or Canucks and it might be Canucks and Pittsburgh in the final, or Canucks and Montreal in the final. Imagine an all Canadian matchup Stanley Cup final tournament, or match or whatever. Like, can you imagine that? Canucks versus Montreal. That'd be a good match to watch. Stanley Cup match to watch, or Stanley Cup final match to watch. That would be awesome. But yeah, anyway, this is gonna do it for my second episode of the Hockey Talk podcast. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I think the Canucks are going to win the Stanley Cup this year. And go Canucks, go. Everybody, that's it for me. See you next week for episode 3 of the Hockey Talk podcast. NHL's coming back soon. And I think the Canucks are going to win the Stanley Cup again this year. So, go Canucks, go. Once again. And I'll see everybody later. See you, everybody. See you all later. Bye.